tell you about this man that's beating on you if I'm getting beat up too?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
what
I
I'm
can't come to
saying.
you and be like, girl, he's no good for
Right.
you.
So you're right. I'm glad you
Yeah.
threw that shout out there. Yeah, let's stop doing that. But back to the question. What would you tell your friend? What would you tell sister girl? Would you say, I think you should let him stay so the kid can see that two parents should be in the home? Or would you just straight up tell her no? Because I've been out here hustling and doing things on my own. Like, what would you tell her? Because I'm pretty sure things wasn't always easy for you.
No, absolutely not. For me, the hard part wasn't the financial part. I think if you go and you pursue the American dream, however you determine it,
yes,
you're
you
gonna
feel
work.
What that is.
It's 2019. Donald Trump's the president. You will work. Period. Some of us will get an extra job this year. But if you are pursuing that, meaning you're working or you're striving towards certain levels and goals in your life, then those things will fall in place for you. You know what I mean? The financial part is not the hard part because a kid is not looking, you're not buying shoes every day. Quit buying the Jordans. They don't last. They get dirty quick. You need to start spending your money more wisely. It's not that hard to feed one kid. It's not.
Right. So you saying regardless if he has a job or not, she should tell him to leave?
You need to do, this is what I will say. Your kid is going to absorb every emotion to the 10th power. So if you're having a bad day and you bring that bad vibe home, that kid is having a bad day times 10 because now that kid, for my son anyway, he would try to figure out what's wrong. That's not a kid's job.
No, it's not.
He shouldn't have to worry about that. What's wrong with you? And then he because he's a loving kid, his next thing would be, well, what can I do? You got to do your homework and get ready for school tomorrow. And that's all you got to do.
I see what you're saying. He's going to see that tension between them. So
yeah,
he need to tell, yeah.
As your
I
friend
see what you're
told
saying.
you,
yeah.
My parents been separated for a long time.
Were.
So what kind of what am I saying to you?
I didn't really see them enter, and I only came over her house. Well, no, I did come over her house a lot, especially when I was trying to be fast. But like, it's like I really did not see them interact at all as a couple.
So that's not a healthy relationship.
And the crazy part about it is, she has always had a hard time keeping a man.
It's not a healthy relationship. It's not about love. It's not about caring. It's not about happiness. And you have these attachments that really are nothing but attachments. I don't want to be alone.
And what was she telling her girl?
Right. I don't want to be alone. Or, girl, your daddy pay all the bills. So, I ain't worked in 10 years. He got to pay these. He going to pay these bills.
Right.
But you going to be miserable every day for the lights staying on. Get out and do your own thing. If you doing your own thing, girl, nobody can dull your shine and can't nobody steal your joy. You going to be happy on your own terms. You got to start there because the kids absorb that.
From our experience, it's actually, and some people may disagree with me on this, but it seems like it's easier now and there are better resources as to being a single mom than it was back then. Because we didn't have Uber. Like, think about.
Right.
I'm being so serious. We didn't have Uber or Lyft. We had. I remember seeing so many women walking to the bus stop, sweating, hot, carrying a baby, one on their hip, one way behind them, looking and picking up dirt and throwing rocks. Like, she got to walk all her kids to the bus stop, get on the bus, drop them off at daycare, get back on the bus, and then go to work. That was hard. Regardless if she was fat or skinny, that was hard. I'm serious. That was hard.
It was.
So, like, there's Uber now. There's Lyft. Like, there's a lot more resources. And then think about it. Remember that first time you got let go of your job, or either they told you, we're going to close this position, so you got to go somewhere else, or the job ended because you was with a temp service. Like, we didn't have the access to the internet like it is now to go and look for a job. Remember, girl, we had to go to the library and type up our resume and update it, and we had to make a whole bunch of copies and hand it out to each employee.
Ride around town and hand it out. Yeah, they got a sign on their door. So now, but see, that's the back side of it, because now they have so many resources. Like I told my nephew the other day, he was like, Auntie, what's the so-and-so? I said, boy, you got a smartphone. Ask Siri.
There you go.
Don't ask
we
me.
didn't
ask
have
Siri.
That. Yeah, so I think they really do have a better advantage than we does.
These kids today are much slower because they're not getting any discipline. They're not being taught any manners. They have no respect.
Oh,
They don't.
yes.
You
I agree with
can't
you on
expect
that.
the kid to respect the teacher if he don't respect you. You know, if he
Right.
don't respect his mama, he gonna go to school and cuss Miss Brown out every day.
Right.
So you can't expect anything from a kid that you're not giving it. You can't expect this kid to say, "Oh, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be a firefighter," and all you do is sit around and smoke cigarettes every day. He's not. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
It's not. You got to promote school and education in your kids. You can't get up and cuss that baby out every morning because he got to get on the school bus. That's a part of being a kid and being a mama. You went to school too.
Right.
They need it. They
do need it. They do.
They
I
need
needed
it.
school. I hated school.
I did too.
I
Absolutely.
hated school.
I hated it. But my mama didn't let me ride.
I just loved the first couple of days because I had some new clothes.
Yeah,
Then you
after
remember
that, it was
laying your
like,
clothes out?
No, I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. After your clothes done got old.
Right.
Yeah. And your book bag strap broke. Remember that?
The shoes dirty.
Yes.
Oh,
You don't want to go no more.
No more.
Okay, so my next question is, this is a good one. What advice would you give a woman? Like, say, a modern woman of today who has a great job. She's doing it. She's out here killing the game. She even got a side business going on. She's making money. She's in her bag. But she wants a kid, which this happens a lot. It's all on TV, Lifetime,
Right,
Hallmark.
right.
She wants a baby. She wants to have artificial insemination. And she's not in a relationship with no one. She's not going on dates. She's tried, but she just can't find that perfect guy. What would be your advice? Because you're a single mother. Like, what would you tell her? I'm not saying not just to, like, make her not want to do it, but, like, just to put her up on game as far as, like, the things that she's going to go through being a single mom.
You're going to be a single parent. Financially, emotionally, physically, you're going to be a single parent.
And what if she say, I'm cool with that. I got money, girl.
You never know if you're cool with that till you've been through that. And see, had a conversation with someone a couple weeks ago about depression and this and that. Sometimes we open the door for it because that can be overwhelming. Just being a parent, like I told you, my son was into sports and he was, into different little programs and clubs and stuff at school. So it was never a day that I got off work at 5 o'clock and I just went home. It was always off work to this football field, to this basketball place, to the chess camp, to the this, to the that, to the that.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
Money may not be an issue for her, but will she have
exactly.
the time?
You may not have the time, and then
she may be too burnt
right.
out to do certain things when she get off.
Right. And
especially if she running a business too.
Right. Just my opinion. I trust in God. And everybody don't need a kid, and I think I know people have.
So you'll just come out and tell her, think about it, or would you just tell her, I don't think you should do that?
Trust in God, baby. That's all I can tell you on that. I don't think unless you have some kind of problem where you can't conceive on your own, I don't think we should modify our bodies to any degree. If you want a kid that bad, have one with a bum. A lot of us have done it. And just move on with the kid. But I don't like when we take God's work into our hands. That's just too much for me.
But she don't know what that bum DNA is like,
Girl.
And it's weird because when you go to those places, well, I haven't been. I just know from TV.
Right.
When you go to those places, do you think the doctors make that up? Like when they put down, he's a star athletic, his IQ is this and that, he has blue eyes or brown. Like they have portfolios.
Have you not seen on the news where, not to be racist or anything, but these white people, something was wrong with the husband's sperm and they artificially inseminated the woman and the baby came out Asian?
I did, but that wasn't why. It was because they made a mistake. No, I think you're right. Something was wrong. You
the baby
you damn sure right.
We don't supposed to mess with God's thing.
Something happened and
God
they made a mistake in the lab.
Life, not man.
They made a mistake. That was sad.
And they want to get a baby back. Who you giving it to? It's no daddy.
Oh, I didn't read
the daddy
that part.
is number 79. Who you gonna give it back to the infertility clinic or the test tube? What you gonna do?
I don't
see that, but that come when you start when men try to do God's work. That's not
true
for
too.
us to do.
That's
so.
true. Well, I probably would tell her. I mean, if she got her stuff together, I'll tell her to do it because I have I have had family members, I can't say their name, of course, who had trouble trying to conceive.
Right.
You
I
know,
can see that.
and she wanted one desperately. She never did use those other resources out there. She never
Right.
adopted anything like that. She just moved on with her life, thank God, because she a little cray-cray. But
Everybody don't need kids.
right, she just moved on with her life. But I mean, it depends the position that she's in
Right.
life. I do agree with you to a certain extent. Please don't talk about me. I do agree with you with God. I do agree with you with God's work, but I probably would tell the sister that go ahead and do it, because I mean your clock is ticking, especially if she is like around 36 or 37. Like, I'm not saying Mr. Wrong can't come when she hit 39, but like, to me, by the time he does come, like, then you got to start getting to know him, and that takes years to get to know someone.
So you just have a baby with a plastic tube that you don't know nothing about?
I would. I'm just saying that would be the question was what kind of advice would I give her?
Well, here's Bridget Nielsen.
But that is
just
a good
had a
question.
baby
Would you,
at 50.
Would you do it?
No. I don't. I don't believe in the boobs, the butts, none of that. I think we.
You don't believe in no
why
plastic?
modify what God gave you? If you think you're a beautiful person, you shouldn't have to change anything that God gave you.
To me, I think it's like it's no different than getting fake nails or hair. Like they like themselves, but they just want to enhance what they have.
I don't know. This will be another podcast because I'm fighting this coalition now about just a quick story all the way off topic. I was in Georgia a couple weeks ago, and I saw this lady that had a ass that went wrong. She couldn't maintain it. So I'm going to just tell y'all something. What I've been told, you have to keep maintenance on these parts that you buy. So apparently you have to go back and get them inflated or pumped back up at some time. So in the meantime,
you just dropped some juice because I damn sure didn't know that.
So girl, at some point, sister girl fell off her game and she couldn't get the maintenance.
Wait a minute. Let me stop.
Butt.
Real talk. When you go and get breast implants or a butt reduction, you have to go back and get maintenance.
I have a friend now that has had her breast implants for like 15 years.
Like your car needs oil changes?
There you go, girl. And she's having to get some new ones now because these are no good anymore. They just, if your real ones will go flat, the fake ones don't go.
I just thought the doctor can mess up one time. Like, what's that girl, Moniece, on Love and Hip Hop? She talk about hers all the time. She was like, I got a bum titty. She said that on the reunion.
Right.
I was like, dang, girl.
But see, why do that to have a bum titty? What was wrong with the little itty bitty titty you had? It was cool. I mean, that's just
she got picked at. She was insecure.
Girl, get your bag.
Right.
Everybody not going to see your titties if you ain't doing porn and stuff. Don't worry about it. Get your bag. You going to make your money matter what you look like.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
I just don't believe in altering
and
my
I do
body.
feel like that's showing our girls today, instead of dealing with your insecurities that you have, it's kind of teaching them to go out and just fix all that. But you're still not fixing the insecurity that you have inside yourself. You're not working on yourself as an individual in the inside. You can go and buy all that stuff, but how is it going to make up for what you was dealing with before you went and got it done?
Yeah, like our Spanish community people, all of them look alike from behind. I mean, that just I can't find my sister.
Okay, anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, so after we've given our advice to sister girl about going to get some sperm from the bank, once the kid come, I mean, that's a lot to deal with. That is like so much to deal with.
And then with that being said, she ain't got nobody to cuss out. Ain't nobody to argue with or nothing. You get mad every now and then and call your baby daddy and cuss him out real good. You ain't even got that, sister. So when you done had the worst day of your life, all you gonna be able to do is go home.
And I'm glad you said that because now we're about to get into the segment where I wanted to discuss setting boundaries with your kids. Like you said, when she's on the phone talking to her friend and going off on him, like, do you feel it's okay? Or do you think it hurts the kids when you talk about your personal business? Like when me and you be talking, you think it's okay for us to talk about our personal business and stuff around our kids when they're in the room, especially when we're talking about their dad or girl, he ain't shit. I talked to him the other day and I told him to put $50. I told him to cash out Jaquez so he can get some football equipment, and he gonna mess around and send $10. Like, do you think that's okay? Like, should you set boundaries? Should you not have discussions like that around your child, or when your friends come over. You know how when your friends come over